You're listening to the GeekCast Radio Network of podcasts.
Cliff Jumper, commence countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Transformers, more than meets the eye. The Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Tune in next week for a much better episode. For now, though, courage.
Hello and welcome to the 44th episode of ToyCast, sponsored by BigBadToyStore.com, where you can save from 20 to 90% on over 1,000 items. I am your host, TFG and Mike, and I am joined by General Techno. Hello.
Hello. Long time no talk on one of these shows.
Yeah, it's been a while since I don't even remember the last episode we had you on. It was in the 30s, I think.
Probably back in December at the latest.
Yeah, I don't remember. But yeah, it's the 44th episode of ToyCast. We are 6 episodes away from episode 50. Still haven't decided if I'm going to be doing anything special for episode 50 or not. So how have you been?
I've been alright. I just got back on Friday. I got back from a brief vacation in Vancouver. I went out there for a few days. Took in a bit of Olympic curling and visited people, including, for instance, the legendary Evangelist and his friends.
Cool.
Which included his friends Jacob and Jason. Jason being Bothersome Pest on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. Very cool, very cool.
Very fun. So they were evil and took me to an import store in Vancouver, in Richmond, called Soul of Anime. Which, yeah, it's evil because, like, I generally have like a list of stuff that I keep an eye out for, import-wise or anything, for conventions and stuff. And they had probably like 3/4 of my list anyway.
That sucks. Did you get any of it?
Oh yeah, I got some of it. Yeah, there were a few things that were like, okay, these I have to get, and then there was stuff where it's like, okay, I was planning on getting this soon anyway. Like I got a Henkei Ratchet, for instance, which I've wanted one of those for a while since my original plans to get it fell through. And he's nice. I got a Revoltech Enkidu. It's a Gurren Lagann figure. It's currently posed on my shelf right now. And I got the Encore Big Mission 3 cassette set, which is the one with Rumble and Frenzy.
Oh, cool.
Which I had been planning on ordering sometime soon anyway. So.
Very cool, very cool. Yes, this episode will probably most likely go up Monday, maybe Tuesday. I don't know yet.
Okay.
Not really sure, but I'm gonna try my hardest not to turn this general chat into a headshot episode, but I'm very pissed at the moment because got an email from the producer, creator, whatever, of a podcast called The GeekCast. Okay? Now, our name is either The GeekCast Radio Network or GeekCast Radio Network, and half the time we refer to it as just GeekCast Radio Network. He's basically saying that, oh, well, there might be some confusion due to the similarity in the name and blah, 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 and what can we do to resolve this? And so I looked at some of his stuff. He mainly does tech stuff. He also, his recent episode was talking about a Nissan. Who gives a fuck about Nissan? They're going bankrupt. And his podcast is listed in iTunes as software/how-to. All of our shows, I think even ToyCast is listed as TV/film. Which, granted, ToyCast probably shouldn't be listed as that because it's a toy review show, but I'm sure that because Steve Megatron does all the postings on iTunes and the website. He does all the website stuff, so I'm sure that there's probably not a listing for toy reviews in iTunes. I don't know. I've never actually looked for it. So, and we actually, the way we do ours is we do it Geek Space Cast Space Radio Space Network. So it's not like Geekcast Radio Network's all one word.
Well, no, that's not quite true. I'm looking on iTunes. Tooncast, Geekcast is done as one word. It's
okay, well,
capitalization.
Right. All right, but
also by the same token, looking on iTunes, his complaint is pretty baseless. This is the guy who does the Geekcast podcast, right?
Yeah, but if you search just
I've got a whole page full of podcasts with Geekcast in them, including like Geekcast.fm and such like that.
Exactly.
It seems like a very unreasonable question.
Well, he's wanting us to change our website name. He's wanting us to change the fact that we list all of our shows under Geekcast Radio in iTunes and everything else. And if you search the term just Geekcast, no space, in iTunes, the first thing that pops up is his show. Mm-hmm. When I searched it in iTunes, the only show of ours that popped up was Tooncast.
The counter argument could be as well that maybe it would be better for Geekcast Radio's sake to pick a name so that they show up as number one in the Google search results, if you know what I mean. Right, but see, that's but the original plot behind us starting Geekcast Radio Network was at first it was supposed to be Geekcast Films, which obviously I do YouTube stuff, but we don't do we don't do video records for these audio, we don't do I'll show you video or whatever, and sometimes Michael Wilson and I will turn both of our video feeds on, but we don't actually record the video to publish online. So that name was out. Right. And then Steve had said something to me about, why not something like a radio station or something like that. I was like, okay, so how about the Geekcast Radio Network? So you have GCRN, which is the 4 call letters, which like most radio stations, like WLRS, it was a local radio station here, or WDJX. It's the same thing. So it's two totally different things. Yes, I do see some similarities, but they are very, very minute in my opinion. The first thing when I read this guy's email, and I'm like, oh God, I just want to take my SDCC Wolverine, put his claws out, and just stab the guy in his eye. It's like this, I try my best with what I have to put out quality content. I just invested almost $90 in a brand new microphone, a condensing microphone, so my voice and all that stuff will sound a hell of a lot better than what it used to. And this is free content. And yes, I do take pride in the content that we do, but it's like, holy fuck. It's not like we're bothering anybody. We're not getting paid for this. Because hell, if we were getting paid for it, we wouldn't be able to use half the crap that we use. I mean, yes, there is a certain extent to free use or public use or whatever it is, or, whatever. But, I mean, it's not like we do intentionally use a lot of copyrighted stuff. Yeah. But, I mean, if we were getting paid for it, I wouldn't be able to use the Transformers themes. I wouldn't be able to use Batman Beyond themes. I wouldn't be able to use any of that stuff. I don't get paid for doing this stuff, and I'm not complaining that I don't get paid for it. I would love to get paid for it. That'd be great. But it's still something that I enjoy. It's kind of like finding a job that you really enjoy, and as long as you enjoy being there, it's great that you're going to get paid for doing that job. But it's not like, say going back to work at McDonald's. Right. It's like how, for instance, I'd love to get paid to draw comics, but realistically, hey, it's a hobby, so.
Yeah, exactly.
And so you get a job so you can do that kind of thing. There's people who can do that kind of thing full time, but I mean, realistically, I just enjoy being able to do it as a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, it's like when I get emails like that, it just pisses me off because it's like, holy crap, why are you trying to, and I can understand somewhat that, like I said, there is a similarity, but He's like, oh, well, can't we find a mutual, way of... But basically the email was asking us to change our stuff. Pretty much change all of our stuff. And, sorry, that ain't fucking happening. Granted, this guy has been around since 2005. We've only been around since last year as far as being published online for the website and a lot of the podcasts. But, like I said before, it's completely different. We have 8 to 10 shows that are show-specific on specific topics. Secret Origins, ToyCast, ToonCast, M-Wire, Movie Week in Review, and when we do use the flagship show of GeekCast Radio, it's very few and far between as of this point because I'm so focused on all the other topic-specific shows. And it's like, oh, God, give me a fucking break. Oh, crap. You still there? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I think I hit the mute on my mic by accident.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, anyway, but funny you should say this about Geekcast as a name, because I just looked and apparently they actually did file for a trademark back in 2009, but it says that it's abandoned according to the status.
You're going to have to send me that link so I can send it to Steve.
Yeah, it says abandoned, though, in big letters here, though, so...
Well, then Steve needs... I need to have...
It's Geekcast.fm that they went after, not Geekcast. Geekcast, and it's the whole logo in general that they were trademarking.
Well, then I need to have Steve go after... I need to have Steve get a trademark on Geekcast Radio Network and GeekCastRadio.com so we can, be safe. But, it's just... It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I'm just pointing out that their trademark was actually abandoned. So.
Right. No, well, it's good that it was abandoned, but I don't know if you looked at that blog.
And again, it's for Geekcast.fm, and
right.
It's very specific in describing the logo.
Right.
Just in terms of the fact that it looks like it's... I mean, they've got no case against you guys, so...
Well, see, and those aren't even... Geekcast.fm or Geekcast.fm, those aren't even the people that... Those aren't even the people that are coming after us. It's the Geekcast. This guy, Aaron... Core something or other.
Isn't that the same thing? Oh, it's not the same thing even?
No, it's the Geekcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess we can move on, so.
Yeah, we're going to have to, because I'm slowly going to be turning this into a headshot, and I don't want to do that, so.
Sounds good.
Why don't you go first with your pick?
Okay, I'm going to go first with my pick. I've gotten a lot of figures lately, and I've got a whole laundry list of things I'd like to talk about. But I'm going to have to go with one of the first things that got added onto this list. And this is especially given that Protoman, a couple episodes ago, did his talk about Revenge of the Fallen Bludgeon. Mm-hmm. But there's another figure in that wave of Voyagers that is, in my opinion, vastly underrated by a lot of people. And that is the Recon Ironhide remold that was released as Bludgeon's Wavemate. Now, I think the reason it's underrated is because of the fact that, again, it's a remold of Ironhide. It's the just give me a sec. Yeah, it's the 5th version of this mold that's being released in North America. There were 3 in the first movie, and then there's been 2 different remolds for Revenge of the Fallen. Mm-hmm. This being the second one. So I can see how a lot of people would write it off, and the mold does have its flaws, understandably. But what I really liked about this, what got me by surprise, was I ended up liking this a lot more than I thought I was going to once I got them open and stuff. I mean, the first thing, the alternate mode, in terms of differences from the original Ironhide, alternate mode, there isn't that much that's visible, really. I mean, he's got, the doors are remolded on him, and he has a painted windshield instead of a clear one. This is due to a lot of massive retooling that a painted windshield was realistically necessary for them to do. And the only real weakness there in alternate mode, there's the zebra stripes, although they look a lot better in person than I thought they would, because they're not white, they're silver, so they actually they don't show up that well on camera as a result. And the plastic, which shows all washed up and white in photographs, again, it looks a lot better in person. There's certain places where it doesn't look that great, like say on the on the windshield, for instance, on the windshield border, but otherwise, overall, it's pretty good. And yeah, you've got both the doors are remolded, as well as the back area of the car. He's got a rack on the roof is redone. He's got a rack up there for attaching his weapons onto. And that's pretty much all the main changes in alternate mode. But when you transform him, you notice, like I noticed, there were a lot of little things that they actually changed, which surprised me, because all I was expecting to get when I saw this listed was, ooh, sweet, it's an Ironhide that has a whole ton of new weapons. I'll have to get this and then put those weapons on another Ironhide or something like that.
Yeah.
But then I actually got this guy. I mean, first we got the pictures which showed that, oh, he's got a new head. And that in itself didn't seem like a big deal until people started pointing out that, I guess I'll mention this first, it's a completely new, the way that the piece that holds the head, it's a completely new piece that the head attaches to, and as a result, they've gone and put a ball joint on the head. Whereas the originals were just swivel joint, and this wasn't all that great because just you couldn't see a lot of the details that easily, and they were washed out. But this one, not only is it ball jointed, but they completely remolded it, and it's a lot more three-dimensional than three-dimensionally accurate than all the other Ironhide heads they've had. I mean, the original was based off the concept art. The second one was the first Revenge of the Fallen remolded head was more based off the movie design. But this one, it looks a lot more like his head in its overall shape. It's a much better Ironhide head. Plus, he can look around and look up and look down and such.
Right.
So it's a great new piece. Then there's also they completely changed the way his back transforms, because he has the entire windshield and roof and some of the back doors. All of those on the original mold were connected into one piece. But on this mold, they completely redid that entire sections. The back doors, actually no, they weren't on the roof on the original. They were on the attached to the front doors. Actually, they moved them onto the roof and completely redid the entire roof assembly so that it's a lot more stable than the original. The original, the big flaw with it was that the entire roof was attached to the windshield. Or rather I'm just looking at this here. I mean, there was a lot...
What size class is he? Sorry to interrupt.
He's Voyager. Voyager.
Okay.
He was Legends Wavemate. I mentioned that early on.
Alright.
But yeah, like, if I look at the original, the big problem with that was that the roof assembly and the windshield were held on by, there weren't pin joints or anything. They were held in by, the friction-type joints, where, if you put enough force on, it's possible to pull it out. And they were held on by this, and these joints were on clear plastic, which means they're not the greatest in terms of durability. Like, my first one broke on one of those joints, and I got the first Revenge of the Fallen Ironhide, and it's too weak in order to have the roof properly stay on. It keeps popping off.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is a lot more secure, because I think it's because they have a painted windshield here, so they were able to use pin joints on that, and it gave them a lot more freedom in designing the roof, and that it actually folds up in a really, really easy way, unlike the original. It folds up, everything locks in, and it gives them a much nicer profile. Plus, another thing, too, is since, as I mentioned, they had the back door pieces attached to the front doors on the original Ironhide, but since they moved those off, it means that there's a lot less kibble on those pieces, and they actually seem to fold up a bit better when you transform them into robot mode. I think that's pretty much it for the major major non-weapon related remolds of the figure. But
does he have lightning on the side of him?
Yeah, he has the silver lightning stripes all over.
Oh, okay, that's what that is. Yeah, he looks kind of cool, but again, me personally, movie toys, But yeah, no, it does look really cool. The guns actually remind me of the ones that are on Ravage, on the Revenge of the Fallen Ravage.
Yeah, I was just going to get to that. As far as weapons go, though, this is where he he really starts to shine there. I mean, it's not enough that they already took the Ironhide mold and they improved a lot of what I saw as deficiencies in the mold. In terms of doing things where it's like, oh, I never even thought they could have done it this way, and instead they ended up making it this much better. But he has a good weapon complement. He still has his 2 side blasters from the movie, the 2 that attach that clip onto the sides of his arms.
Mm-hmm.
He's also got 2 rifles. One's a Gatling weapon of some sort, and the other's a sniper rifle.
Mm-hmm.
But he also has a couple of knives as well, which can clip onto the sniper rifle. And the weapons as well, like the knives and the rifles can mount onto his roof. There's several places on the rack that's on his roof and on the back of the truck where they can clip on, so you can put them wherever. You can have them splayed out however you want. And he also has a detachable front bumper, which, like, it's a remolded piece. It comes off and it can clip onto the. If you flip the one forearm gun around and attach the bumper, then he has a arm-mounted crossbow, which is pretty neat.
Right.
Another thing as well, and this is going to come into play just in a minute when I explain where this is useful, is that the forearm cannons they can also clip into the handheld ones. The sniper rifle and the Gatling gun, there's a slot on there so that you can clip them into that, so that they're not actually on his forearms.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that is such a very nice thing is that as far as backwards compatibility go, this Ironhide still has the same attachment ports on his forearms as all the other Ironhides did, which means that it is possible to have an arrangement where you can attach both sets of Ironhide weapons that were previously made, the one for the Revenge of the Fallen Ironhide and the ones for the Movie 1 Ironhide. Both of those can be arranged and clipped on as well, so that you can put him in a situation where both of his arms are just bristling with every single Ironhide weapon.
Right.
It looks really, really cool. I mean, it's like that scene in the Jim Carrey movie The Mask where he's just pulls out the massive weapons on both hands or whatever.
Oh, you mean the rubber ones?
Yeah, like that one.
Yeah.
It's essentially that sort of thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I looked at his image on the wiki, and he does look really, really cool. But, like I said... But yeah, do you have anything else to say about him?
Not much. I mean, like, if you're absolutely not a fan of Ironhide's character or the mold, then, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend this. But, I mean, if you like Ironhide as a character, this is easily the best version of Ironhide that we've seen so far. The deluxe version looks like it's going to be pretty good, but as far as scale goes, it's not going to be necessarily the most accurate one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like I said, it does look very cool, but my shelf is so overflowing right now, I can't.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Well, yeah, that, and like I said, I don't like... When I bought Ravage was pretty much a display piece for me, because let's face it, Deluxe Ravage does not have a robot, or he does not have an alt mode.
Right. You planning on getting that Legends Ravage that they're doing?
Legends Ravage?
Yeah, they showed it off at Toy Fair. There's a new Legends Ravage mold.
Oh, is there? I didn't know about that. No, I don't know. I'm pretty much, I think I'm pretty much set in my Ravage fanboyism outside of the device label, which currently, unfortunately, it's out of stock at BBTS, so... But because wait
for the US release for that then. So
yeah, but I did finally get to pick up Robot Heroes Ravage, so he's pretty cool. I'll probably talk about him in another episode. But
okay, cool. I guess if I mention one last thing about just this Ironhide, it's that his weapons use the 5mm peg system, so they're compatible with any other figure that has 5mm pegs for his hands. Like they were designed for interplay with the other Nest figures.
Very cool.
And I guess that's about it. All I have to say about him.
Oh, damn. I wish I had about $30 right about now.
For what, Ironhide, or?
No, oh no. I just, I did a search for, they've released a, under the Marvel line for Mighty Mugs, they released Iron Man 2 mugs, the Mark 6 armor for Iron Man, and they also released a War Machine Mighty Mug. And I found him on superherotoys.com for $25, which isn't bad. I mean, granted, you can probably wait and get him for $5.50 in a discount bin, but every time I go to my Toys R Us, I can never find any good ones that I don't already have. Like, they constantly have the yellow and the yellow and blue spandex Wolverine. So, but
right.
Anyway. Speaking of Wolverine, in the mail today, I had ordered a whole bunch of them off of Amazon, I don't know, last week or the week before or whatever. And I ordered Black Suited Spider-Man, the Wolverine retractable claw version from the Comic-Con last year, Venom, and regular colored Spider-Man. The regular colored Spider-Man and Venom have not shown up yet, but Comic-Con 09 Wolverine showed up, and I've got him here. I mentioned in the last episode of ToyCast, which, as of this recording, no one's heard because it isn't up yet, but I had talked about the Black Suited Spider-Man, and I was telling XV from Radio Free Cybertron that, these are probably the only boxes of toys that I actually save because they are kind of collectible because they have the face on the top of them. Well, you people in Canada get screwed on that, but, But the Wolverine box is really, really unique because it actually has, outside of the fact that it does have the Comic-Con logo on it, because it's a Comic-Con exclusive. Mm-hmm. As I mentioned to you off-air, they have the little cardboard inserts that show as a backing. Usually they're white. This one is like a metallic silver, and it shows claw marks in the outside of the box. So like Wolverine clawed at the box or something. It's just very, very, very cool. I'll probably end up taking pictures of the box at some point. I know I've done a video of it on YouTube, so I don't know. But getting to Wolverine himself, very, very cool. I'm not sure. A YouTube reviewer who shall not be named, and you probably know who I'm talking about because we don't need to give him any publicity.
I can guess.
Said that, he has an X in the middle of his name, but said that this Comic-Con version of Wolverine was based off of the X-Men Origins movie line. It's never actually said anywhere, as far as I can tell, that he is the movie version from X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, you can kind of guess that it is, maybe because of the outfit. He has like a brown jacket with a little wife beater shirt underneath, belt buckle, and I think they're either gray or it's like a grayish or a blue pants. But this thing, Mighty Mugs consistently surprised me. I was, put it mildly, I was shocked when I got Shockwave to find that he had a wire coming out of his back going into his arm.
Yeah.
But this one, he has retractable claws, which is very, very cool.
Nice.
The budgets that they're giving these Mighty Mugs, because they're normally most of it is just paint apps. But some of the gimmicks now that they're giving these things are just so awesome. I really, really like them. So I have all three of the Wolverines now. I have the yellow one, I have the cowboy version, and I have this version. So I'm very, very happy with this. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. And if you have if you're gonna do a show like my buddy Jason does a show called Superhero Mugs. If you're gonna film these guys and you're gonna run it through an animatic program to show them being animated, the claw gimmick really, really shows off well being animated. I'm pretty sure it does because I saw Jason do a preview with this figure.
Oh, I imagine.
Yeah, it's very, very awesome. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I've got. I think it's a very, very, very cool figure. What did you like best out of all the Toy Fair stuff you saw?
Well, I mean, there were some very good designs. Drift, I mean, I knew that was coming, and that was a pretty impressive mold, I thought, just in terms of how close to the comic design it was. Like, they did a really good job on Drift's toy, I have to say. But I think the biggest surprise, and the one I couldn't stop talking about all day, was Straxus.
Yeah, everybody's been.
You got a freaking Straxus. Straxus is awesome. Straxus. I mean, I even did a point of taking when I went on vacation. I took the Transformers, the Generations Volume 2 reprint with me to read on vacation because that one has Straxus in it.
Oh, cool.
Just because of the fact that, yeah, freaking Straxus.
Yeah, it's very cool. I would have to say that outside of Masterpiece Optimus Prime, the original MP04 Prime, the Generations Optimus Prime combination of G1 and War Within is to be my favorite Optimus Prime ever.
To be fair, I mean, the War for Cybertron toys look neat, but I thought a lot of the other stuff was a lot cooler. Like, for instance, some of the movie toys that we're getting look pretty neat. Just, for instance, we're getting a Voyager Prime that looks like it's based more off the Leader, a scaled-down version of the Leader toy. Just in terms of how it's transformed, which...
No more movie toys, damn it.
No, but if that's indeed the case, that's pretty awesome, because then you have a Prime that's in scale with Blackout, Grindor, Voyager Megs, and Voyager Starscream. So you can then have him just assaulting all these different guys and taking faces and stuff. Oh, he'd be in scale with the Fallen as well, so you could just do Prime on a face-taking spree. But yeah, there's that. Then there's, movie toys, those were pretty neat. But I thought the Power Core Combiners were pretty cool. Although what seals the deal is, there's a video that ASM Zine took of the Bomb Shock figure, just showing the combination in action. And that really seals the deal on those figures with the 5-man figures, because when you plug in the arm, like the whole arm flips out of the limb, out of the tank limb when you plug it into the body, and then when you take it out, it all goes back in.
Yeah.
So I mean, as far as drone limbs go, this is probably the best use of drone limbs we've ever seen. Plus, they're interchangeable with the other robots that are sold separately, which is awesome.
True.
I mean, they've done a very good job of just engineering them. So
yeah, I don't dislike Power Core Combiners, but it's not something for me. It's like one of those lines where I don't care either way. But yeah, no more movie toys. I'm getting sick of this. They need to start doing other stuff.
Well, I don't blame them for doing more movie toys. And to be fair, what I like is that they've gone and changed the movie line. It's gone back to Transformers rather than Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And not just that, but they've also changed it so that they're using box art as well as an interesting development. So I think that means that it's going to be a lot easier in order to work in homages to and updates to G1 characters in that main line than it was before.
Right.
I mean, there were a number in the Revenge of the Fallen line that were clearly supposed to be updates of G1 characters, even if they were repaints. Like, for instance, the Hoist repaint of the long arm mold from the first movie. That was a clear design homage. There was both Bludgeon toys, both of those clear homages. Mindwipe, I guess he's a new design, but it's still a definite homage. Dirge is a homage. I mean, you get a lot. We've been getting a lot of those in that toy line.
Yeah, but still, that's why I'm kind of glad there hasn't been a whole hell of a lot of news on Transformers 3. Because, God, I don't want Transformers 3 to turn into what Revenge of the Fallen did. Because it's like, holy crap, we were so oversaturated with news. There's like every day a new news, even if it was like a very, very minute piece of news, it was covered. It's like, holy crap.
Yeah, but that's more because you can more blame fan sites for that, really, than anything.
True, but still.
Because they need stuff to cover, so they're going to cover all the news that comes their way. So I don't really blame them for covering all the minute news.
No, I know, but I'm not blaming people. I'm just saying in general, just the oversaturation of coverage on, just in general, not even, a specific website or a specific person. Just, it's like, Revenge of the Fallen this, Revenge of the Fallen that, and then at the aftermath, like 95% of people didn't like the damn film. Oh. Anyway, do we have anything else that we want to bring up or cover?
I'm not sure. I mean, I could easily talk about more toys, but I mean, there's really not much to bring up. I mean, maybe a few things for Canadians just who are shopping right now. I mean, as far as what stuff in stores, Zellers has the Legends 2-packs from the movie line, which, I mean, the only reason I bought those were for the repaints of the Legends Wheelie and Rodimus molds as a Smokescreen and Shadow Stalker. They're good molds and they're good repaints. They're the Universe molds that they used. And also, I mean, there's the Legends Devastators are in stores in Walmart, and be careful with those because I've read a few reports, including mine, of stuff breaking on them. So I need to bring mine back.
Yeah, I had already said. Sorry to cut you off there. I had already said in the ToyCast episode 43, the last episode. I meant to bring up because Michael Wilson brought up that he got one of those Legends Devastator things. Meant to ask him if it had tiny balls with it.
No, it doesn't. You need to buy the Crazy Devi set for that.
No. Ain't buying that $100 piece of crap.
$100? Their sets aren't $100.
Oh,
it's just an add-on set. That's
it's right. Yeah, okay. The add-on. No, I thought you were talking about the big $100 piece of crap.
You're thinking of the Bruticus add-ons?
No, I was thinking about the big $100 piece of Devastator.
Oh, yeah, that
doesn't do anything. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I guess another quick thing for Canadians is that Zellers has the, this is especially relevant because of Fans Project's Crossfire sets, but if you don't have a Bruticus set yet, now's the time to get one, or talk to a Canadian maybe, because they're $30 up here now at Zellers for the ones because they're clearing them out. They're normally 50 Canadian, and they're clearing them out at 40% off, so.
That's cool.
So I mean, yeah, I picked up a second one for myself. If I ever open it, it'll be to do the awesome double Bruticus combination, of which I have a pick. Which is where it's a fan mode where basically people combine two Bruticuses into one even more awesome robot. Here's the pick here.
I see. Cool. Alright, well, I think we are going to bring this to a close. Thank you for joining us here on ToyCast. There are several ways to get in contact with us or leave feedback for the show. First, you can visit www.geekcastradio.com and find all the other GCRN podcasts there. The second is you can stop by PredaconEmpire.com/Nexus. Those are our forums. The third is you can leave the show feedback in iTunes. We now have a voicemail line. Call us and leave us your thoughts on each episode. Be sure to say which show you're leaving the message for and your name. Number is 502-526-5821. You can follow us on Twitter. Show name there is TF ToyCast. Mine is TFG1Mike. And what is your Twitter?
Mine is General Techno.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of ToyCast. Wish you'll join us next time. Be sure to visit our sponsors, www.bigbadtoystore.com, for all your Transformers and other toy-related needs. For now, I am TFG1Mike with
General Techno.
Saying the immortal words of Optimus Prime, transform and roll out, and thank you for listening. Until next time.
Hey, this is Sari, and you're listening to the Geekcast Radio Network of podcasts.